Welcome to the takagakin gaming. We've finally got a name for this campaign. It's obliviousness to oblivion.
And it only took us 2 sessions.
And only took us 2 sessions. Now, when we last left off, the 2 captains on one ship were about to meet.
Yeah.
Oh, and property damage. But I ain't responsible.
Lots of property damage. And a mysterious orb that tells you stuff about the planes.
Well, I mean...
But who pays attention to detail like that, eh?
It was only glowing and shooting beams into the sky. I mean, typical things, right? Typical things.
Typical. Very typical. Alright, so let's get down to it. So, you're going to run into the captain's quarters with this new information, right?
Yeah.
It is dark, and you're rushing. So, can I have you make a wisdom check?
Oh. It's just a wisdom check. Okay, I rolled a 9. That's minus, that's like a 7, I think.
Oh, okay. So, you rush down one direction, and you realize after about a minute that you're actually going the wrong way.
It's the guy following me.
Yes, the guy is following you.
I want to turn around and go, why didn't you say anything? We've been running in the wrong direction for a minute now.
He's like, I don't know where you're going.
I'm going to pick him up and start running the other way.
Okay, you pick him up, you start running the other way. The orb's still glowing. This way you can see somewhat. Because the rest of the ship is dark.
I'm going to point out, though, I move at a speed of 60 feet. And I don't get tired. So...
This is why you can get lost very easily.
All we have to do is go to where the captain quarters are. You should know this.
Okay, so you start running in the right direction after a little bit. You turn the corner, and you almost slam into another creature.
Okay. Is this one of the crew members?
No, I said creature.
Ah.
So here's a little description of this thing. You can't, literally cannot see its shape well. It's covered in, some sort of weird, haze, kind of blurring the edges of the creature, so you can't really tell exactly what it looks like. Mm-hmm. But it looks like a humanoid-ish thing with big, very insect-like wings. You can definitely tell, though, that it's got 2 really large red eyes that are not your standard humanoid eye, but more like, the insect kind of fly-like eyes with lots of little tiny hexagons inside the eye.
Yeah.
And it's really creepy.
Question. Does it have fungal features?
No, it doesn't have fungal features. It does have a very fine fur on its body. And what you can tell are some markings on the wings and on its chest.
Well, I'm going to, at this point, just... Baji, shall we roll for initiative, or do I get to act?
You get to act, given that you basically ran into this thing.
Okay, well, I am going to attack, but at the same time, I'm also going to shout at the top of my lungs, intruders, or enemy.
Okay. Maybe just scream, ah!
It's like do a flurry of attacks to this thing.
Oh, go for it.
I'm going to just
Well,
do.
you don't get to do flurry attacks because it would technically be a charge.
Oh, okay. So if this is technically a charge, then I'll do the charge.
Because basically you're running, you see the thing.
Yeah.
Instead of stopping, you go like, you know what, I want to go kick it.
Yeah. Okay, I rolled a 1 and a 19. The 19 is a soul crit.
Well, roll on the crit to see if you confirm.
Okay, so is a 37 a crit.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a crit.
Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. So it's a D12 and a D10. Okay, so I do 29 points of normal, 29 points of normal damage. Oh no, sorry, 30. I got a +1 for the crit.
All right.
Plus now the bleed damage, which is 1 bleed. But because I crit, and I have yeah, so because I crit, if it's sort of humanoid sized creature, the creature gets impaled on me, and I get to do 1 more die of damage on their turn.
All right. Well, now we roll for initiative. So give me your initiative.
Oh. I rolled a 4 for a total of 6.
Well, you're going last because I rolled a 20 for this thing and a 19 for the captain. So this thing's going first, then the captain, then you.
Well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, I stabbed this thing with my hand. I'm sure it's good.
So first things first, it's going to be the extra die of damage.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it's an extra D10. I don't know if.
Yeah, it's an extra D10.
Ooh, I rolled a 10.
Ooh. Oh, this thing it's a hurting. And how much for the bleed?
Well, it's a. I rolled a 1 the last time on the bleed.
Yeah, but you roll the D4 every time.
All right. I rolled another 1.
Okay, it's still up. So first things first, it's going to look at both of you and the captain. So can I have both of you make will saves?
1 second. Is this a fear effect or a mind affecting effect?
It's a fear mind affecting effect.
Oh, okay. That actually makes this quite nice. Oh, but I rolled a 2, so total 15.
Total of 15. Well then, you failed. So you are now shaken.
Okay, I'm just going to ask. My arm is still inside this thing, and I would shake it.
No, no, you're shaken. It's in you're scared.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So
You're
you
impelled to
shake.
think, you looked at the thing real close in the eyes and you went, ooh, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, but the problem is my hand's still impaled in it. So.
Oh, yeah. But unfortunately for you, this is actually a gaze attack, so it doesn't actually need to take an action for it.
All right.
So in its actual action, it's It's going to touch you with its weird, mothy hand. And can I have another will save from you? But remember, this time with a -2 because you're shaken.
Yeah, but is this still a mind-affecting fear effect?
It's a mind-affecting effect, but it's not a fear effect.
Alright. Rolled a 4. Total of 14.
You failed. So, interestingly, you suddenly get a very vivid memory of this thing actually not being dangerous and, in fact, giving you a message.
I'm sorry. It was dark.
It was dark. Unfortunately, because you did attack it, it changed the memory to. Oh, by the way, this is the modify memory spell, so you know what's going on. So basically, it modified your encounter with the night gaunts into making you believe that you were in fact surrounded by more of it, and that they were giving you a cryptic message.
But do I know what the message is?
Yeah, well, okay, so I'll tell you the message. Basically, it's going. The normal winds of fate have turned into a hurricane. All of creation is in peril. There are 11 red stars falling from the sky. Each will destroy something dear to the world, and you will meet one when the sun of this world falls and is known to have set forever.
Huh. I mean, I'm still afraid, so I'm probably thinking like, oh man, some heavy stuff going on. With my arm still impaled in the thing.
Yeah, basically. Now that was its turn. Unfortunately, it's Captain Morgan's turn. Who you were carrying.
I think I would have dropped him the moment that I attacked.
Yeah. So he charges to the thing. He manages to hit once, dealing abysmal amount of damage. But this thing is looking very rough. So your turn. What do you want to do?
Well, considering the message, actually, I'm still shaking, so I don't know if I can do anything.
Well, shaken just means that you take -2 on attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks until you are no longer shaken.
Well, I'm going to flurry.
Go for it.
Let's just check how many I get. Okay. Statistically speaking, I should be able to hit one of these.
Well.
Okay, the lowest that I rolled was 19.
Well, 19 total on the attack?
Yeah, that's the lowest that I got.
Okay, 19 is a miss.
20?
20 is a hit.
Okay, well then I hit it 5 times.
I'm not even gonna make you bother rolling that. It's dead.
Yeah. Like the minimum amount of damage would be over 80. And then I'm probably going to be thinking, I want to look at Morgan and just go, hey, does the idea that the winds of fate turning into a hurricane mean anything to you?
To who?
To the captain. That's
Captain Keelmast!
yeah.
He goes, no, that doesn't mean anything to me.
I mean,
But
if I remember correctly, I was carrying one of the guns, right?
yes, you were carrying one of the gaunts. Which
Well,
at
now
this
I have
point,
to.
it doesn't make sense to you because you now remember being surrounded by more of these things rather than the gaunts.
Yeah, I want to be holding the gun and then going like, oh wait, something happened. Oh, I'm gonna pick this thing. I want to keep carrying the gun and go like, let's go to the captain's quarters. As I'm running, I'm going to be constantly shouting, enemies on board.
Okay. Can I have you make a... I guess this is a diplomacy check?
Yeah, 1 second.
I mean, it could be an intimidate check. I don't really know.
And I think this is a diplomacy because I'm trying to get people's attention. I'm not trying to intimidate them into doing anything.
Yeah.
1 second. I rolled a 6 for a total of 19.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so pretty much most of the people in the ship are now aware of something going on. And
Do I see anyone whilst I'm
you're running pretty fast. So what's happening here is you're running past people's rooms, shouting. By the time that they get out of their room, you're gone.
I might end up having to double back, just saying.
If you double back, I'm gonna have to make you roll another wisdom check to see if you get lost or not.
No, I'm trying to head towards the captain, but I'm still shouting. I mean, remember, I don't get tired, so I can keep this all night.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, so you burst into the into the captain's quarters. You find that the captain is dressed in their nightgown. She is not happy about you bursting into her room, shouting about enemies on board. But
I can see that I'm carrying 2 bodies.
let me finish the because I mean you burst into her room. She knows that you're in there, but because remember, you're going much faster than Captain Keel, and you have to have one arm to carry one body and the other arm to carry the other body. So you're not carrying him.
I know.
So she can't see because it's dark. She just knows that you burst into her room. Right? So she's like, what's the meaning of this that we're being under attack?
I'm going to drop the 2 bodies in front of her and go, take a look. These 2 creatures just attacked me.
Okay, so you say that. It's pretty dark, so she just hears 2 big thuds. And then Captain Keel arrives with the glowing orb. And then she screams because she sees, well, one faceless humanoid thing with wings, and then another one that does have a face, but it's a weird moth face.
I'm basically going to go, we need to get out of this area now. And we need to group everybody. I think one of these creatures has the ability to affect people's minds. Pointing to the one with the moth face.
Well, would you know that?
Well, I would have to be able to come to the conclusion that I would, because the other thing that I thought was the moth thing just changed into something else.
Okay.
So I'm like, it has to be able to affect my mind, because Where did
Like,
this other one come from then?
I don't remember this one.
Yeah, I don't remember this one.
Okay. Right. So, the captain's going to put on her boots, and go to her nightstand, grab a bell, start ringing the bell. It's very loud. Within a couple of minutes, everyone is sort of dressed, sort of ready, and they're going about on the ship, trying to get the things to sail as fast as possible. For one, they try to push the big worm that's still on the boat off.
I think I probably would go and help them do that.
Okay. And you notice that once the worm is off the boat, it starts going much quicker. They've set the engine on. Captain Keelmast has taken out a couple of other magical devices that he's using that is making like the sails have full wind on them and stuff like that. This boat is going a lot quicker than it used to go. So,
do I see the other two bodyguard guys here?
yeah, they were the ones who were helping you push the thing off the boat.
Well, once they finish, I'm going to ram them with the two captains and show them the bodies and go, okay, what do you guys think about this?
Okay, so those two don't know anything about these creatures. Like, I don't know. The original captain of this ship, Cass. Yeah, so Captain Cass is just unsettled by these things a lot. Now, Captain Keelmast, he tells you that he recognizes one of them. He tells you that he recognizes the fairy one with the big eyes. He goes, "Oh, that's not a good thing. Oh, that's a very bad creature." He explains to you that these things are known as mothman. They are very rare, but when they appear, terrible things tend to happen. Not too much after. They're basically there to go. Stuff is gonna go down.
My character's then going to explain the prophecy that he heard to all of them, and then ask if they think like what this could mean, or if they've ever heard of anything like this.
Yeah, none of them have heard anything of them. They don't really know much about it, except for Keelmast, who tells you that, well, he doesn't know what the prophecy is about. He has a feeling that it has to do with the orb, and he has a feeling that if he doesn't complete the thing about the orb, then definitely bad things are going to happen anyway. So it might be related.
Well, my character's going to go, okay, this clearly has become way bigger than the ship.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to volunteer and go, look, I'm going to take this guy to the temple to try and see if we can fix the thing with the orb. Is anyone else going to join me, or am I just going to do this on my own?
The two bodyguards are going to say that they'll join you, since they don't really have anything else to do in the city. But Captain Cass is going to tell you that it's going to be kind of hard, because where they're going, it's not a particularly welcoming city for humans.
My guy
She's gonna go.
Sorry.
She's gonna go. Well, look, Ensil's very, very strange city. It's got a lot of laws. So when we reach port, let me do the talking. I'll try to get you to get out of the port in a legal manner as quickly as possible, but it might take a few days.
My guy's going to look at the other two and go, okay, we might not have days. How big is the area?
Well, the thing is, they explain to you, Ensil's a large city. That's divided into two. You have the port side, which is where humans are allowed. And that's a couple of miles, and then the rest of the city's again a couple of miles in area. The temple that Keelmas is talking about is in the human side, which makes it easier, but as they explain to you, the way the customs work is that you would still have to wait a while to get all the paperwork and what have you to get through. Right? And she says it's really not a good idea to try to skip this point, even though it'll take time, because if you do, you're going to have the entire city looking for you, and they will kill you, basically.
My character's going to be contemplating, and then he's going to say, how difficult would it be to reach the temple if I was to dash for it? I'm looking to the other captain.
Well, Kilmas is going to go, well, look, it's not too hard to find, but then he looks kind of disappointed. He goes, but unfortunately, you in particular would have a hard time finding it.
We're gonna again contemplate this and be like, he's not wrong, but we have to do something, and I'm probably the fastest one here.
You're gonna get a little chuckle from the guy dressed in red. And he's gonna go, speed isn't always the best course of action. I agree with the captain. Maybe let's play it cool to begin with.
My cat's gonna nod. Alright. Once we do get the permission, I guess we're gonna have to try and go at full speed. If that's the case, it might be worth getting like a cart or something that can pull all three of you.
They'll tell you to worry about it when you get to that point.
And then my cat's going to look at the actual captain of the ship and go, okay, considering the situation, how long is it going to take for us to reach port?
She's going to look at the additional speed of the other captain's magical items. She's gonna go, well, if nothing stops us, we should be able to get there by slightly past dawn.
My cat's going to nod. He's going to go, okay, I don't think these creatures are going to show up during the day. Stop pointing at the two carcasses, but he's going to go, during the night, I'd recommend that everybody gathers together for safety.
Everyone is on the top of the ship because everyone's crewing it.
Yeah. But my guy's talking about when they get to port. He's going to go, because if it's going to take a couple of days, we're probably going to have to stick together because it's likely that if we get attacked again, they're probably going to try to pick us off one by one. And as he's saying that, he's probably going to be thinking, and I'm probably going to be the one that wanders off on my own.
Also true. So, you guys sail for, because it was pretty much midnight. You guys sail for about 5 hours. It's just before dawn. You know when the sky is no longer dark, but the sun still hasn't come out. It's that kind of time.
Yeah.
And I mean, even with your terrible perception, you start feeling very warm. Like surprisingly warm. And there's a slight bubbling sound coming from the ocean.
Oh, that might not be good.
So,
My cat is going to go to one side and look to the ocean, see what's happening.
make a perception check, if you will.
I will see what's happening. Hey, well you. Oh, wait. Oh, well you look at that. I rolled a natural 1 for a total of -8. I'm probably going. Look at that. There's water everywhere.
Okay, so what happens is you lean over, and then one of these bubbles bursts really close to your face, and you get hit with boiling water, so you don't get to see anything, and you take 1 point of fire damage.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm sure it's supposed to do that.
It stings, because he hit you right in the face. Yeah, also the sea is boiling.
I'm gonna like wipe this off and look at the crew and go, "Hey, is the sea supposed to be boiling hot around here?"
Yeah, you're gonna not really be hearing much of replies because people are kind of panicking.
Oh, I can just imagine my character going like, "Calm down, guys. It's not that bad. It's not like if we're going to suddenly sink."
The ship starts to bounce up and down in a unusual manner, and you see that every now and then quite a bit of water is coming onto the ship.
I'm gonna look at the experienced, in quotation marks, captain, not the one from the ship, but the other guy, and go, "Do you have anything to cool down the ocean?"
He's gonna go, no, actually, that's a little bit beyond what I have.
Okay, how far are we from shore?
You're still quite a while away. Um,
The problem is I would go like, okay, how far is this effect going? But knowing my cat, he'd be like, oh, it's the entire ocean.
Well, as far as you know, it's the entire ocean. You don't really know how far away things are. People with better perception checks are at the moment scanning what's going on and whatnot.
Uh, are there like rowboats on this?
No. There are no rowboats or emergency boats or anything of the sort.
Hmm. Okay, my cat is going to just keep an eye out on the deck, see what's happening, and see if he can do anything to help.
Okay. As that's going on, can I have you make an acrobatics check?
Yeah, hopefully I won't get another natural 1. All right, total of 20.
Okay, so you managed to steady yourself quite well as the ship almost gets flipped over. Something very big comes bursting out of the ocean. You, unfortunately, don't really get to see it very well, given how bad your perception check is.
That's fine. It's just a giant tuna.
This thing bursts out of the ocean and then flies away in a direction at quite a bit of a speed, also. So whilst it's very, very big, it actually goes out of sight pretty quickly. On the other hand, quite a few members of the ship have fallen overboard. And, well, the sea's still boiling.
Okay. My character's going to run over, shout for the others to get rope, and he's... Oh, this is probably a bad idea considering I won't be able to tell, but he's going to run over to the side where people fell and see how many are in the water. He can spot them.
Make a perception check.
Hey, I rolled a 9 for a total of 0.
To be fair, it's very hard to tell. The water's still pretty dark.
He'd be like, my god, they're gone.
You know, you don't really know what's happening. So, yeah, you don't see anyone, and you know, in the few moments that it takes, whilst before you were hearing quite a lot of those screams start to disappear very quickly.
I mean, I'm just gonna shrug and go like, where did they go?
Well, what do you do? Because the ship's still moving pretty fast.
Well, I would imagine that we've left them behind. Is the water the... Well, my character will probably think, like, there's no way we're gonna be able to save them now.
Well, whilst you're debating it, no, the moment passed.
So he's going to look at everyone and go, okay, tie the rope to each other and tie it to the deck.
Just in case something like this happens again?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
My character's not going to tie himself down, but he's going to keep an eye out on what's happening.
Well, in about 5 minutes, the ocean seems to go back to normal. And everyone's still pretty shocked that, well, you know, a whole bunch of people just got flinged into the ocean and were boiled alive.
My character's going to look at the captain with us artifact and go, look, I know that the entire city could be after us, but I don't think it's a wise idea to stay on the ship.
He's gonna go, we're not going to be on the ship once we reach port.
If we don't sort this out soon, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be targeted regardless of where we are.
He's going to tell you. Technically, though, whilst we're being looked at, we're going to be safer because there's going to be a lot of guards looking after us and anything that comes into the city.
My guess is gonna shrug and go, well, as long as the guards can fight whatever caused the water to boil.
He's going to go, he's like, well, I saw that thing, and I don't think there's any force on this world that can fight it. Except maybe other gods.
My guy's just gonna nod and go, yeah, I'm just saying it's down to you.
He's gonna shrug and he's gonna go, look, all we can try to do is hope that we don't get attacked anymore and just keep with our heads cool and just, you know, follow the plan.
Oh my god, it's going to just sit down and keep an eye out. Not that that means anything, but alright.
But alright. So, it's dawn. The sun starts to come up a bit. You can now start to see more or less the damage that the ship has taken. That boiling water basically just peeled off all of the varnish of the ship. So the ship it's not in a great condition. Um, you know, you hear about how they're going to have to, like, even if they don't want to, they're going to have to stay in the dock for quite a while before they can set out to sail again, because the ship will need to be repaired. Um, um, you have a few hours of not much happening, so is there anything you want to do?
Once it looks settled, my character's going to sleep because I mean he only needs 2 hours sleep, but it's better to get it now in case I'm gonna have to be up for a long time.
Okay. So, other people are kind of following suit, people are taking turns, catching a little bit more rest. The people who have to be on the ship, making sure that things are, you know, um, like they don't hit anything or anything, because they're going at an accelerated pace.
Yeah.
So the two captains are definitely, making sure that they're sailing properly and whatnot. But everyone else is taking turns to rest and, you know, what have you. So we reach the city. About 2 hours after dawn. The glorious city of Enzil. What you see as you approach the city is, so you have a harbor, natural harbor that has then been docked, built upon with large docks, but it's mostly empty at the moment. There's not a lot of ships there. I mean, there's one or two, but there could easily be like thousands stationed here, and there's closer to maybe 100. Beyond the immediate area of the dock, you see basically slums, and then there is a very large wall that separates this part of the city to the rest of the city, which you can't see very well because of the wall. But you can see that there are some structures behind the wall that are tall enough to creep over, so there's still stuff beyond.
I can just imagine my character going like, "Wow, I finally paid attention to something."
I mean, you're looking over there. You can see it's pretty big, and people are pointing stuff out for you. Even though it takes you a while to like, oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So the largest building on this side is a temple, although it's too far to see exactly what kind of temple it is or to who it's dedicated to. But it's a very large, ornate type structure, although still much smaller than the wall. And the Captain Keelmass tells you that that's where he's headed, and presumably you're headed.
My character's going to be trying to figure out like how long it would take to go from the port to that place.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. I rolled a 17 plus 2 from intelligence, so 19 in total.
Okay. So it's about 1.5 miles from the dock, like from where the ship would dock to where that is. Yeah, it will take you a few minutes.
As long as I don't get lost.
Yeah, basically, as long as you don't get lost, yeah, you could definitely walk it easily within a day.
Well, if it's only a mile, it probably wouldn't even be a day. It'd probably be less than an hour, considering this guy's speed.
Yeah. No, obviously, but uh, what I'm saying is, like, even if you got lost, even if you got detained and all that stuff, you'd still be able to make it to that place in a day.
All right. Well, my character's going to keep scanning the area. He's going to see if he can spot any other noticeable buildings.
Roll perception.
Uh, and he's also gonna be asking, people who aren't doing anything, like just like, hey,
Okay, roll perception +2.
I rolled a 19. It's a total of 12.
Well, I mean, it's better than nothing.
Clearly, it was because people were pointing things out, not this guy's actual natural perception.
Yeah. What you see slash get pointed to what have you is uh, so the temple's quite far away, much closer to you, and it's still another large, very visible building. They point to you to tell you that that's the human delegation of the city headquarters. So basically, like the equivalent of the mayor, but it's only for this part of where the humans live. And they also tell you that that's also like a guild house slash adventure, like adventurers guild slash like um, kind of uh, like some slight illicit activity also goes on along there because basically because of how poor this part of the city is, very shady things happen. And a lot of that gets sorted out in that area, in that building. They also point out another building that is pretty much on the dock. I mean, like literally, you get off the boat and it's within a few yards from the docks. This building, it looks a bit like a bunker, kinda, as in it doesn't have any windows. It's just like a dome, slightly cylindrical building. It kind of large, and they tell you that that's the immigration area, and that's where you have to go to sort out all the immigration and whatnot. And they tell you that that's where they're gonna go after they dock. But you get explained to you that when you reach there, you're not allowed to leave the ship until someone comes and escorts you off the ship.
All right.
So that's that. As you get closer, a small little ship will sail up to you. It's crewed by a bunch of hobgoblins, and basically this little ship will accompany you and tell you where you're supposed to dock. Are you doing anything, or are you just going to play along with everything that happens?
I'm going to play along, but I'm going to listen out to what the hobgoblins are speaking, because I'm assuming they speak goblin.
They're actually speaking common.
Ah, okay.
Because they're shouting orders to the crew of the ship you're on. So they guide you to an empty spot. Basically, on where they guide you, there's a pier. On one side, there's another ship docked there. Interesting looking ship. It's much smaller than yours. It's not colossal in size. But it seems fancier built. It's like the wood is made, it's black. It's got a single sail, which you can just about tell it's deep red. On board, there seems to be quite a lot of people. But obviously your perception is not great, so you don't really know who's on that ship. But you definitely see it as you come up. So you dock. Takes a while, but eventually, Hobgoblin comes up to you, to your ship. Orders the people who are going to leave the ship to come out of the ship. He does a head count of everyone that's still on the ship, and goes, okay, so the people who are going to stay on the ship, all right, you guys are going to stay on the ship, don't leave. The people who are to leave the ship to come with him, and they go to the immigration building.
So, all right, well, I am going out of the ship, so I'm going to head towards the immigration building.
Well, I mean, you're escorted to that building.
Yeah.
So are you?
I guess I'm probably going about to the Hobgoblin just as I come out. Sign of respect.
Alright, he doesn't pay any mind. He doesn't care.
I'm just gonna say, not that I would notice.
Not that I would notice. But just before he leaves to the immigration building, he's going to go up to the other ship and go, all right, who's coming off your ship? And only 2 people come out of that ship. The 2 men, you think they're humans, but something about their demeanor is uncomfortable. They're both dressed in quite nice-looking robes. The one in the front has these black suit that seems to be embroidered with gold that make a strange kind of pattern that it's hard to tell what it's supposed to look like, but it definitely looks like it's supposed to look like something. He's got slick black hair, a little beard and goatee. He carries himself as if he was much larger than he is. And one thing that you do notice, even with your really poor perception check, is that he's carrying a very ornate walking stick that has, the handle bit that looks like some sort of snake. The second one, who seems to be trailing behind him in his shadow, as if he wasn't worthy to be next to this person. Again, has a suit, but his suit seems to be like wet. It has like that weird kind of glossy shine, and it's very dark red. He also has slick hair, but his is it looks wet, and it's that haircut where you have shaved on one bit and then long on the other side that like covers half your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got that kind of haircut. Clean shaven on his face, but he definitely looks sickly. Very, very thin and deep shadows underneath his eyelids. And he keeps rubbing his hands together as if plotting something, or as if he just wants to to be useful to the person in front of him. They're not speaking to you. They just join the party and then carry on. So,
All right. Well, my cat's going to stand between those two and the captain with the orb.
okay, that's not hard.
Um, if they ever try to strike conversation, he'll sort of talk, but he's just only keeping an eye out at the moment. Not that he spots anything, but you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're paying attention to those two. The one in red isn't saying anything. He's just smiling, nodding. The one at the front seems to be speaking in a language that you've never heard of before, so you don't recognize it. But from the sounds of things, he's complaining.
I'm just gonna say, considering I know common, goblin, orc, giant, elf, dwarf, halfling, and gnome. Wow, this guy must be saying something really weird. Because
Yeah, no, you don't know what he's or what language he's talking.
who does he seem to be talking to?
He seems to be talking to himself.
My guy was just gonna keep like a note about this. Like if the opportunity arises, he's going to ask the guy with the sort of sleek suit, well, the sort of wettish suit.
Yeah, the one in red.
Like, what language does that guy speak?
So are you gonna do that now, or are you going to like wait until you're in the building, or what?
I'm going to wait until it seems like a reasonable time to talk to the guys. If like the opportunity arises. If not, he's just gonna keep a watch out.
Well, I mean, because like, what would you say the opportunity arises? Because like those two are trying to ignore the rest of your party as much as possible.
Well, that's the case, and he's just going to he's not going to say anything. He's just going to like keep a distance, because my character would also be thinking at the same time. It's like, I don't want to be raising any suspicion of our group, and I don't want people to be actively noticing us, if possible.
So, yeah, so in that case, then the opportunity is technically never going to arise.
Fair enough.
So you get taken in. The entrance is of this building is kind of strange. You can tell that it's 3 stories tall, but the ground floor is well, it's a bit of a mess, because there's all these humans that you can tell are completely destitute. They don't have any money. They're pretty much just beggars. And they're all, sitting on the floor around this large empty space. And you get told that basically these are the people who came here but couldn't afford to actually go into the city. So they're stuck in here until they can find enough money to pay for them to be let through.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people here that you see are very young. They're either children or teenagers who have, for some reason, been left behind by either their parents, or they snuck in. They tried to sneak out and then got brought in here with a fine, and basically you're just stuck. And then you can see there's a spiral staircase at the end of this area, guarded by a pair of hobgoblins. And as you're taken through, you go there, go up the stairs, and then you can see now this definitely looks like a working place. There's a whole bunch of well, it's like a maze basically with corridors, and then on the other side, instead of walls, you have, you know, those kind of desks with glass that go up to the ceiling where people, you know, can talk to and do transactions, but you can't reach to them. You know, like in banks and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that, and on the other side, there's a hobgoblin in every single one of these. Um, so the two that joined from the other ship get escorted to one of these sets, whilst your group gets escorted to another one. Um, it takes a while, you know, a couple of hours of people filling in forms. You get you're told to sign quite a few things. Are you just going along, or are you doing something?
I'm just going along. However, if I can get away with, I'm probably going to be using like ambiguous information. So it's true, but it's not horrendously useful when I
Okay.
can.
Um, make a bluff check.
Is this for forging documents?
Well, this is to because you're also having to answer questions to the person.
Well, I think this counts. As long as I'm because of my one of my backgrounds, I get a +1 to bluff and to forgery, as long as it's related to my past.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that counts.
All right, let's see what I get. I rolled an 11, so that would be 25 in total.
So yeah, you managed to get through this relatively easily. You deflect quite a lot of personal questions without too much difficulty.
You know, things like, "Where are you from?" It's like, "Oh, over there."
Yeah, you know, you've probably never heard of it in the other continent.
Yeah, if he
Yeah.
thinks like that. The problem is that I'm actually starting to think it's not that he doesn't have a past, it's more like he just doesn't remember any of the details.
No, it's just he wasn't paying attention to the events that happened around him.
Yeah, it's like, where did you live? You know, that village over there.
Yeah, you
What's
know, the
its name?
place.
I, you know, the one with the cottage houses.
That's literally everyone in this country. So, it takes a while, and then eventually you and the other um, guests are taken to a little pen whilst the captain of the ship, Captain Cass, is taken to fill in some more forms. And you see the man with the wetsuit uh, be escorted to where you are. You don't see the other guy, and you suspect that he might have been the captain of the ship.
My
So,
guide's going to bow to the newcomer and then just friendly say, "Oh, hello. Not too grueling for you, is it?"
uh, he's gonna smile and go, "Oh, I'm willing to do anything for my master."
My guide's gonna also go, "I don't believe I've heard of him. Would you mind explaining who he is?"
Oh, I don't know if that's prudent, but we're very new. I don't think you would have ever heard of us.
Ah, I see. I also noticed that he was speaking a strange language to me. I mean, probably common to you, but what was that?
He goes, "Ah, we don't personally speak that. That's the language only for the gods."
Ah, so I see that your master must be quite a holy person.
Oh, very. He's divine.
My character's going to nod and go, interesting. Well, I'm new to this place as well, and if you would ever need of a mercenary or a bodyguard, I'm willing to step up.
He's going to smile in a very creepy way. And he's going, oh, I'm sure your services will be quite useful. Uh, I will have to talk to my master about it. But I believe we're staying in the same place anyway.
My cat's going to nod and go, yeah, I believe so. Well, if there's anything else I can help with, I'd be glad to do.
He's going to nod and he's going to go, well, we don't need anything right now, sir. But I'm sure in the near future you will hear from us.
My cat's going to nod and go, yeah, well, nice meeting you.
Um,
Wow.
he's going to give you a nod, and he's going to slowly pace around the little area that you're in.
My cat is just going to sit somewhere and just pay attention to what's going on the best he can.
You know
I
what?
will say one thing though. I can imagine anyone who's seen the interaction just probably getting like the vibes of like, oh my god, this guy's really creepy. Except my cat, who's probably going like, what a nice guy.
What a nice guy. Upstanding citizen of society, that. Um. Okay, make a sense motive.
Oh, it's not as bad. Oh, well, let's see. I get a total of -1.
-1. Yeah, well, that guy sure is an astounding citizen of society.
He has the whole nation. No, was it? He's beloved by the entire nation. He's that great of a guy, clearly.
Clearly. So you wait good 45 minutes before Captain Cass and the other guy arrive. Surprisingly, the other guy actually walks up to you pretty much straight away, whilst Cass goes to the rest of the people and starts describing what's going on. This guy comes up to you, takes out his hand as to shake yours.
All right, I take out my hand to shake.
As you embrace his hand, it feels heavy. And, like, you're strong, but this feels even, this guy could easily overpower you, no problem. And you can tell just with the grip.
I can just imagine my character going like, "Oh, the guy was saying that this guy might be divine. Wow, that might actually be the truth."
So he embraces you, he squeezes, but not hard enough for you to take any damage, but just enough for you to know that he could destroy your hand just by clenching a little harder. And he goes, "Oh, I see that you wish to help us in our endeavors. As a mercenary, right?"
My character's going to go, "Yes, I mean, I currently have one employment that should be done very quickly, and then I'm looking for further employment as soon as possible."
Oh, well, I'm sure that you will be quite useful in our cause. My name is Quasar. I'm sure you've never heard of it.
My character's going to nod and go, "Well, I don't tend to hear a lot of things."
He lets go of your hand and goes, "Well, that's fine. By the way, is this job of yours to go to the temple?"
My character's going to be a little suspicious and go, Interesting.
Interesting.
He's just going to nod slowly, but because he knows at this point, it's like, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to lie to this guy.
He's gonna go, oh, I heard it from your captain. We're also followers. And maybe we could go there together.
He's gonna not go, yeah, absolutely.
He gives you a nod and turns to his follower. He gives him a nod. And the follower comes up to you and he opens a bag filled with not quite gold bars, but like broken pieces of gold. And he goes, will this be payment enough for you?
My character's going to nod and go, yes. And he's just going to kind of look quietly and go, we should discuss the other details later. He's just going to take the bag.
He goes, well, of course, of course. We are staying in the same place after all. And how long have we been going for? Yeah, about an hour. So I think this would be a good place to stop.
Yep.
What do you say?
With my guy nodding and probably going, nothing suspicious here.
Nothing suspicious at all. All right. We'll see our faithful listeners in the next one.
All right.